In this episode of Travelogue, we visit charming Xiamen, a laid-back city by the sea. We explore its vibrant neighborhoods and savor some succulent seafood. I also get to spend time with Xiamen locals, who are very special to me and my family. From above, it seems like an ordinary port, but there's a secret charm to life in Xiamen, a perfect combination of both bustling and relaxing. The first thing I learn is that this seaside city is anything but sleepy. In our last episode, we explored a nearby city, Jinjiang, where I was finally reunited with my grandfather's sisters. Now, we've just arrived in Xiamen, where some of my family also happen to live. But this city isn't only special to me for this reason. Millions of overseas Chinese can trace their roots back here. It's always been a pretty international place. Xiamen means Gate of China, and it evolved over centuries as a center for global trade. Today, its 4 million residents enjoy one of the highest standards of living in the country. As well as being known as an educational and cultural center, it has an enviable natural environment to boot. Little wonder it's graced the top spots of most livable city lists in recent years. But, as we're about to show you, Xiamen is not only livable, it's lovable too.
Hello, we are in the city of Xiamen, a place that's known for its seaside, its relaxed lifestyle, and really yummy food. And I have a very special family connection which has brought me here, so I'm really excited to be here. Hi, I'm Katrina Yu, and welcome to Travelogue. Join us as we show you the best of what this city has to offer.
First up, Xiamen Daxue, or Xiada as the university is affectionately called. Founded in 1921, it's not only one of the top tertiary institutions in the country, it's also known for being among the most beautiful. The architecture is an elegant combination of Eastern and European styles. It may well be a place of serious study, but looking around, it's obvious that the students here also have many opportunities for serious play. And that cheery collegial spirit, well, it's just a thing for getting your energy up.
Coming to Xiada also, it reminds me of the fun days that I was at university. I spent many years there, and seeing this, the students having fun, it really is worth coming here just for that.
For a place which has the motto, pursue excellence, strive for perfection, the atmosphere is surprisingly laid back. It's probably because of the environment. The campus has the good fortune of being located in Siming district, nestled between the sea and the mountains. So perhaps while students walk or pedal to their next lecture or exam, the ocean breeze and singing birds help soothe and calm those stressed nerves. Whatever it is, there's an infectious and radiant vibe around this place. You can't help but feel years younger. It's almost enough to make me want to go back to school.
When you come to visit Xiamen University, one of the things you cannot miss is this wonderful tunnel of graffiti. Now, some of it gets painted over to give other students a chance to leave their mark, but some of it is permanent, including this. Now, this says, "I love you" in more than 20 different languages, and I think it's pretty cool.
I love you, goodbye, that is. It takes me a while to walk through each tunnel, mainly because I can't help but stop to appreciate the artistry of each mural. It's not an experience you want to rush, and you can even take a midway coffee stop here if you fancy. Some of the paintings are cute or alternative, others are more classic. This one depicts some of the university's most iconic buildings. Weaving past the cyclists and pedestrians, it becomes clear to me that this tunnel doesn't only speak volumes of the creative talent of these students, it's also a testament to their love for the university. And looking at all this, I can see why. Leaving the tunnel, I find myself by the jewel at the center of the Xiada Crown, Lotus Lake. It's popular with tourists, but also a good spot for pensive would-be philosophers, as well as cuddling couples. But personally, I'm more impressed by Shangxian Square.
Yeah?
Now that's a sports ground.
Okay, that's cool. Alright. Now, Mr. Chen Jiagong built another institution here in Xiamen, which is very famous and a very big tourist destination. It's Xiamen University. Even I had heard about this beautiful university before I came to China. Now, if you come and visit, be aware that during the week there are limited hours and a limited number of people who can visit. So best come the weekend where you have a lot more time, and really, you're going to need it.
After leaving Xiamen University, we take a quick break on the neighboring beach. While we rest, we take in fresh sea air and prepare our stomachs to take in some fresh seafood. Hungry? Welcome to Zhangsuan, or as I like to think of it, seafood heaven.
Look at all the shellfish. I was always told that when you find these really big shells, that if you put it to where it is, you can hear the ocean. So after you eat your meal, you can have listen to the beach. Isn't that cool?
Okay, so putting that shell to your ear probably won't allow you to hear the ocean, but you'd certainly smell it. And a less messy way to do that would just be to stroll through Zhangsuan. This place is overflowing with the smell of freshly cooked seafood.
If you like seafood, this is definitely the place to come.
But it's not all about food. Zhangsuan is equally known today for being a gathering place for young artists. So I guess it's one part food, one part art. Or if you're like this entrepreneurial lady, you can combine both.
I can't believe that she just made that using a spoon. You know, of all the things that I can do with a spoon and a chopstick, making a beautiful sweet flower is definitely not one of them.
Zhangsuan is still described in many books and websites as just a fishing village. And certainly, 10 years ago, that's all it was. But today, there are quirky trinket shops.
What do you think?
And other fun things to see and do.
So one of the really cool things that Xiamen travelers can do is buy one of these really cool notebooks that has the different cute and popular destinations here in Xiamen. And when you get to this particular destination, like 166 at this store, jump and say that you've been here. So let's give it a go. And there you go. And if you go right next door, we can go to the place which has apparently a bigger stamp in Xiamen now. What collector can go without that? Let's go.
And I'm not the only avid collector.
Where did you get these?
And maybe you can go to another road. You can see.
So that shows where you can get the
You
stamp.
have the map. On this map, you can have the stamp.
Oh, really?
The main streets of the village are mostly full of modern buildings. But if you come here, I suggest you turn a few corners and wander away from the noise. If you do, you'll be rewarded with quiet laneways that have maintained more of their original flavour. And perhaps you'll even stumble across a place where you can enjoy another of Fujian's most famous exports, tea.
You know, it's nice to know that away from the crowded touristy areas of Zhongzuan, there are still some traditional buildings. Some of these are hundreds of years old. You know, they kind of remind me of the hutongs in Beijing.
But during a visit to Xiamen, you'll find that, if you like, you don't have to do much at all. You just have to sit back and let the city work its magic on you. And as the evening proves for me, magic can be found in the simplest, heartfelt moments. For example, meeting with my grandfather's sister, or Gunai, for a quick snack. We'd only met a few days ago, but it certainly doesn't feel like it.
My grandmother's putting us all to noodle dinner. Isn't she the sweetest?
In Xiamen, just for half the cost of a cup of coffee, you can get a generous bowl of scrumptious seafood stew and noodles.
So this is one of my Gunai's favorite noodle places. So, you know, we've eaten at a lot of fancy restaurants since we've been here in Xiamen, but I think this is going to be one of my favorite meals so far.
After eating, I walk my Gunai home from the food market. She tells me her city has changed much over the years. But thankfully, while Xiamen has grown, it's still kept its close community feel. Even visitors can't help but be affected by its warmth.
我听说那个福建的茶很有名的茶叶啊。哦，你喝不喝茶？喝。你做好快啊。
It's a family-friendly place, and for me, a nice place to have family. Coming up next, we check out a local Xiamen market, discovering some weird and wonderful treasures of the sea, and also kick back and relax at a very unique garden guest house. In this episode of Travelogue, we visit charming Xiamen, a laid-back city by the sea. We explore its vibrant neighborhoods and savor some succulent seafood. I also get to spend time with Xiamen locals, who are very special to me and my family.
Well, good morning. It's a very wet morning in Xiamen, but there are some people on the street, and I am on a mission. Specifically, I'm on a mission for breakfast. I'm starving, and we decided to check out some of these really busy side streets where everyone seems to be gathering, and there's all sorts of things here. Hello, Stanley, actually. And here in Xiamen, noodles are a very popular choice. Oh, look at this. Guys, I think we found it. I think I found my breakfast this morning.
香菇烧肉包。
是肉吗？
对，肉的。Thank you.
谢谢。
Now to where I think is the best place for a tourist to go to meet a few locals and maybe make a few friends. The market.
See how fresh they are? They're still moving. That's how fresh you can buy here. Oh, whoa, look at this. For a second I thought that was a kind of snake, but it's obviously just a very long fish. This could be a kind of snakefish over here. And look at this. This is a flat fish. So your fish could double as your plate.
Okay, so the fish plate idea? Probably not so good. But, in my defense, I'm a night person, and it's very early in the morning. And well, for these vendors and shoppers, it has to be. The earlier you come to market, the fuller your shopping bag will be of the freshest and more succulent seafood and produce. Xiamen is known all over China for its seafood, and a local cooking style which retains their fresh, natural flavour. Shrimps, scallops, oysters, and almost every scaly creature you can think of. All kinds can be found here.
这个是什么东西？就酿酒。
你不该怕看到这样了。
You know, the weather conditions for filming today have not been perfect. We've been getting in people's way in this market, but they've been really patient and friendly with us. In fact, times where I looked at something and I had no idea what it was and I was kind of creeped out, people were talking to us and explaining in a really funny and warm way. But it made me think that the seafood definitely is what contributes to the long lives, the healthy lives, and the attractiveness of this place. But perhaps it also contributes to their warm nature and laid-back lifestyle.
As grey clouds descend, we're forced to return to our guest house, which, in this case, isn't such a bad thing. Just as Xiamen is full of character-filled cafes and shops, it also has many unique places to stay. Huge Shuyuan is one of them. The courtyard garden is a peaceful haven, and inside, each room is uniquely styled and very comfortable. It's such a pleasure to stand on the balcony, watching and listening to the sounds of the surrounding neighborhood. And you know what? It's even prettier in the rain. Coming up next, Travelogue wanders through one of southern China's most sacred Buddhist temples. We check out the colourful city night scene, and I say goodbye to some very special locals.
Little pond may look very still, but if you look closely, you'll see there's lots of little fish. So these guys must be the lucky ones compared to the ones we saw at the market earlier. We're here at the very famous Nanpu Temple. Now, Fujian has a long history of Buddhism, and many pilgrims will come to this spot. It's very convenient because it's right next to Xiamen Daxue. Let's go check it out.
Nanpu was founded during the Tang Dynasty. more than 1,000 years ago. It's over centuries been ruined and rebuilt, but has always retained its position as one of the most sacred Buddhist temples in Fujian.
A lot of people have been walking up to this and touching it. I don't know if it's because it's lucky or holy or just because it's cute, but I thought I'd follow suit.
Literally meaning South Putuo, the temple is named after its location, being south of the holy Buddhist Putuo mountain in Zhejiang province. Nan Putuo is a treasure trove of religious artifacts, exquisite statues, bronze bells, priceless documents and paintings. But its grand structures and extensive grounds are equally full of people. This place is alive with prayer and reflection. It's also a school and center for Buddhist learning. Nan Putuo welcomes thousands of pilgrims every year and continues to be the inspiration for many Buddhist temples in China's south today. No matter your beliefs, you can't help leaving here feeling refreshed. And plus, it's completely free too. Night falls and the bright lights beckon us back to the center of the city. It's good to be outside this evening. The air is cool and clear after the rain. And there's a romantic and fun feeling about the place.
We're here in Xiamen's Zhongshanlu district, which is like the main shopping or commercial area. Walking through here, I was reminded of the time I was living in London, and I recently found out that this type of architecture was brought by the overseas Chinese back here from Europe, and it's perfectly suited to the South Asian wet and rainy kind of weather.
I leave the main drag, following the crowds and my nose, only to discover the spot where young people of Xiamen come out to play at night. It's a colorful, steaming, grilling, frying wonderland of cheap food. I've just had dinner, but there's always room for a snack. And maybe dessert.
This is definitely one of the most crowded streets, full of all these goodies and snacks, and they don't look particularly healthy, but they look pretty yummy. And I'm a sucker for lines, and there was a line over there that had a long line of people lining up for this drink. Now, I can't remember what it's called, but it's a mixture of like milk and tea and peanuts, and it's sweet and tastes really good. Best 5-price bet ever.
It's the morning of our last day in Xiamen, and unsurprisingly, it's come too soon. These past few days we've seen some brilliant places, but it's the quiet charm of this city, its warmth and simplicity that's won me over. But there's something else that will make it especially hard for me to leave Xiamen, and we're on our way to see her now.
您今天打扮得很漂亮。
我84年就搬到这里了。坐嘛，你们是坐吧。好。要喝咖啡就喝咖啡，喝茶就喝茶哈。
After months of searching, I was finally able to get in touch with her and her family after first meeting her sister in Xinjiang. I was so glad to know I had family connections in this beautiful city. Their last contact with my grandfather's side was in the 70s, so there was a lot of catching up to do. My grandfather passed away in the Philippines more than a decade ago, but I can only imagine how he would have loved to hear his little sister's stories and see these photos. As my visit was coming to an end, I struggled to find the right words to say and the right things to do. How could I express how I felt? The sheer gratitude, the tenderness. All I could do was try my best to capture the memory so I could recount it well to other relatives overseas who were waiting for my stories, just as excited by the reunion as I was.
So I've just said goodbye to my Gunainai, my grandfather's third youngest sister. And I have to say, seeing my family here in Fujian has made this trip priceless. And I encourage anyone with long-lost relatives or relatives that you have little contact with in China or perhaps elsewhere to get in touch. It's really worth the effort. You won't regret it.
So bye for now, Xiamen, a city of surprises. I don't need convincing to come again, and I hope you don't either.